I watched the video 3 times before I opened the door. On my porch, my daughter leaned in close to the frame, lowered her voice, and said, "We miss you." She stopped, shook it off, tried again, softer this time, like she was reading lines and didn't like the first take. The motion alert hit my phone the second she stepped onto the grass. I didn't open the door. I opened the live feed. I watched her for 12 minutes, silent and invisible. As she rehearsed the version of daughter she thought I'd pay to see, I hit save and sent it to the cloud without really thinking about it. Muscle memory, I guess. There was a smell of wet leaves coming through the screen door. Portland does that. Quiet rain smell, even when it isn't raining. I live alone, so I put the camera up for safety. That's the excuse I tell people. The truth is, I like knowing who's on my porch before they know I'm watching. In the clip, she checks her phone. Her thumb taps the screen twice. Then she says, barely loud enough to hear, "Just get her to the bank." Like it's nothing. Like it's a grocery run. I should tell you who I am. My name is Marlowe Hensley. I am 64 years old. I've lived in this house long enough to know the floorboard by the door creaks if you step on it wrong. I know because I avoid it now. She believed the camera was gone. I'd complained about it once, said it was annoying, said I might take it down. That was my stupid mistake. Or maybe my smart one. I can't tell yet. I didn't feel rage. That surprised me. I felt cold, clear, like when you finally find your glasses on your own head and realize you've been swearing at the wrong thing the whole time. She practiced again. "We miss you." Wiped at her eyes, reset her shoulders. If you've ever watched someone rehearse sincerity, you know how unsettling that is. It's not evil. It's just efficient. Honestly, that might be worse. I checked the timestamp, 12 minutes. Plenty of time to understand what this was. Not a visit, a setup. Not a reunion, a transaction with better lighting. Here's the thing I haven't admitted out loud yet. Part of me still wanted to open the door and pretend I hadn't seen it. That's my bad habit. Smoothing things over, making it easier. If you're thinking you'd never do that, good for you. I've done it my whole life. I replayed the part where she whispered about the bank. I turned the volume up. The speaker crackled. I heard it again. Then the bell rang. I put the phone down on the counter. Took one breath, another, stepped around the creaky board, and reached for the handle. Already knowing this wasn't the moment everything broke. It was just the moment I stopped fixing it. The months without contact weren't an accident. I chose them. The last time we spoke. My daughter stood in my kitchen with a folder tucked under her arm. Papers. Tabs. Sticky notes. She set it on the counter like it weighed something. "I just need one last favor," she told me. "Not please, not sorry, just need..." I asked what kind. "Paperwork," she replied, already flipping pages. "Quick. It won't affect you." I skimmed. Names I recognized. Clauses I didn't. My name showed up more than once. I pushed the folder back. "I'm not doing this." I told her. Her jaw tightened. "You always do this. You get scared at the last minute." "I'm not scared," I said. "I'm done." She laughed once. Sharp. "Don't act like a martyr. This is family." That word landed heavy. Family. Like a lock. Like a lever. "I'm not available," I said. Not angry. Just flat. She stared at me, waiting for the old version to step in, the fixer, the smoother. When I didn't, her voice changed. "So that's it. You're really going to be like this, I'm going to be like me." I answered. She grabbed the folder. Her hand shook. "Don't call me when you change your mind." "I won't," I said, and I meant it. After that, I didn't chase. I didn't explain myself in long texts. I didn't send birthday cards with extra cash folded inside. I stopped answering messages that started with, "I hate to ask, but..." The silence felt wrong at first. like missing a step on the stairs. Then it felt steady, until today, when she stood on my porch, practicing how to miss me. For years, I was the easy fix. She'd call and start casual. Can you look at something for me? Then the real ask would slide in, a signature, a verification. A quick call to smooth things out. I learned the rhythm. I also learned where my name carried weight. Once, she pushed a stack of forms across my table and tapped the corner, just here and here. I asked what it meant. She waved it off. It's standard. Everyone does it. I signed, that's on me. Another time, she needed me present, not even to talk, just to sit there. They trust parents, she told me. It goes faster if you're in the room, so I sat. Quiet. Useful. I complained about the Ring camera once, told her it was too much, told her I might take it down because it made me feel watched in my own house. She nodded. Relieved. I didn't think anything of it then. That's the part that stings. She didn't misread me. She counted on me. Looking back, the closeness wasn't closeness. It was access. Dependence dressed up as family time. And I played along because it felt better than being needed for nothing. Standing there today, watching her rehearse on my porch, that pattern snapped into focus. Clear, ugly, familiar. She didn't come for me. She came for what I used to provide. The message came in at 6:42 in the morning. Come home and talk. That was it. No apology, no context, not even my name. I stared at it longer than I should have. Long enough to feel the old reflex kick in. Fix it. Clarify. Ask what she meant. I didn't do any of that. I typed back one word. Okay. Not yes. Not when. Just okay. I charged my phone to full, opened a notes app and wrote 3 lines, dates, names, one reminder in all caps. Ask what she wants. It felt silly, but I've learned I forget things when voices get loud. This was me staying ahead of myself. I practiced calm the way you practice a hard conversation, out loud. Once, I'm listening. Then, I need details. It sounded stiff. I tried again until it didn't. A friend texted about lunch plans. I didn't answer. Today wasn't for distractions. Today was for containment. Here's me breaking the wall for a second. If you've ever agreed to a conversation just to stop it from happening in your head, you know the move. I didn't plan to confront her. I planned to let her talk first. Let the shape of the ask reveal itself. When the doorbell alert buzzed later, I was ready to open the door, not ready to give anything else. The bell still hadn't rung. She stood there adjusting herself like the porch was a stage, voice softer, chin down, hands folded, then unfolded. She wiped under one eye, paused, tried again. We miss you. Too flat. Reset. Breath in. We miss you. Better. Almost convincing. I leaned against the counter and watched it play out in real time. No guessing. No filling in blanks. This wasn't emotion spilling over. It was calibration. She checked her reflection in the dark glass of the door. Smoothed her jacket. Practiced the sad smile. I recognized that look. It was the same one she used in offices, in waiting rooms, places where outcomes mattered. She pulled her phone out again, thumb flicking fast. Then she muttered, irritated. No, I know. Just if she signs today, we're fine. That did it. My chest tightened, then went quiet. The anger showed up, sharp and clean, then stepped aside. In its place came something better. Focus. The kind you get right before you stop negotiating with yourself. I replayed the last 10 seconds. Saved it again. Redundant, maybe, but I've learned redundancy is protection. She shifted her weight. Glanced down the walkway, then back at the door, counted under her breath. 1, 2, 3, like timing mattered. Here's the quick aside, because it belongs here once you see someone rehearse affection. You can't unsee it. Your body remembers before your head catches up. She lifted her hand, hesitated, lowered it, tried the line one more time, softer than before, like this version was meant just for me. I stayed still. If I didn't sign, nothing she planned worked. And she knew it. I opened the door, smiling. Not warm, not forgiving, just controlled. The kind of smile you use when you already know the ending and you're letting the other person walk into it. Her face lit up on cue. Relief first, then performance. We miss you, I cut in, clean and quiet. How many takes did you do before you rang the bell? She blinked. Once, hard, like she'd missed a step. What I tilted my head toward the little black dot by the frame. That record's before the press. 12 minutes today. Her mouth opened. Closed. The smile slipped. Then came back crooked. That's a violation, she snapped. You can't record people like that. That's messed up. This is my porch, I replied, and it's always recording. Her voice jumped registers. So you're spying on your own daughter now. Wow, you've really changed. I stopped pretending. I told her. Different thing. She laughed, sharp and fast. You always twist things. I came here to talk and you're doing this. I didn't move, didn't defend, didn't explain. What do you want? I asked. She froze. Not dramatic, not loud, just stuck. I want my mother. She tried. Softer. That's not an answer. Her eyes flicked past me. Into the house. Calculating. I want us to be okay again. Then say what you need. I pushed. Say it without the script. Her hands clenched. Why are you doing this to me? I'm not doing anything. I said, I'm listening. The silence stretched. Long enough to feel real. She exhaled. Frustrated. I didn't think you'd be like this. I shrugged. You rehearsed. I prepared. For a second, panic flashed across her face. Then denial slid back in place like armor. This is about control, she accused. You want to punish me? No, I answered. I want clarity. She looked at the camera again, then at me. The porch suddenly felt smaller. Whatever she needed. It wasn't love, and she needed it badly enough to practice pretending. She switched tactics fast. No pause, no shame. I'm your child. She pushed first. Voice tight. You don't talk to me like this. I nodded once. Say it clearly. Her eyes hardened. You've been cold for months, but you shut me out and now you're acting superior. Still not clear. She stepped closer, dropping her voice. We don't have time for this. That one landed. Time for what? I kept my tone flat. Not kind, not sharp, just procedural. She looked away, then back at me. There's an appointment. With who? The bank. I waited. She hated that part. I could see it. They won't move forward unless you're there. She rushed the rest. It's just a formality. They need immediate family present. It reassures them. So you need me to show up. I said. And do what? Just confirm things, she replied. That we're fine. That we support each other. Support how? Her jaw tightened. Why are you doing this? Why can't you just help me once I have helped? I told her. Enough to know when you're avoiding the part that matters. Her phone buzzed again. She ignored it. Then didn't. She glanced down, swore under her breath. Silenced it. There's a deadline, she admitted. Today. I repeated. She nodded. If we miss it, everything falls apart. I let that sit between us. The truth finally out in the open. Not love, not reconciliation. A clock. A bank. A mess she needed me standing next to so it wouldn't look like one. Whatever this was, it wasn't small, and it wasn't mine. She finally stopped circling it. It's a refinance, she admitted. Nothing dramatic. I held my hand out. Show me. She hesitated, then pulled the folder from her bag and flipped it open. Pages slid out, slightly bent, like they'd been handled too many times. I took them and stepped back inside just enough to read without blocking the door. You're trying to list me as a cosigner, aren't you? You didn't just forget to remove me. You're trying to pull me back in because your credit score isn't enough to secure the new rate. You're using my equity to save your own. That's not my fault. She jumped in. They never fully removed you. I know, I replied. Keep going. She pointed. They need in-person verification from immediate family, just to confirm support, stability, define support. She swallowed. You being there, saying we're fine, that we talk, that you don't object. So theater, I said, live. She flinched. It's not like that. I kept reading. Halfway down the page, I found it. Buried in a paragraph written to look harmless, a clause that shifted obligation if certain conditions weren't met. This turns reassurance into responsibility. I said, you know that, right? Her face went pale. It's standard language. It makes me liable if you default. That wouldn't happen. That's what you said last time. I reminded her. Quiet. Flat. She leaned forward. If you show up with me, it looks clean. That's all I need. After that, you're not involved. You needed me on the porch practicing affection so the bank would believe we're stable. She snapped. You're twisting this. No. I said, I'm reading it. Her voice cracked. Just enough. If this doesn't go through, I lose the house. I paused. Let that land. There it is. I replied. That's the real line. She nodded. Fast. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't serious. You didn't ask. I told her. You staged. She looked down at the papers. Then back up at me. You could save me. I closed the folder, handed it back. I could disappear into your paperwork again. I corrected. And you'd call it family. Her shoulders sagged. You don't understand how bad it is. I understand exactly how bad it is, I replied. That's why you rehearsed. The porch wasn't about healing. It was about passing inspection. Just long enough to get approved. And once I saw that, the whole thing snapped into place. She broke fast after that. It was like watching a controlled demolition of the character she had practiced on my porch. First came the pleading. Please. She rushed. Reaching for my arm, I stepped back, staying firm on the same spot where she had rehearsed her lies. Just come with me. We'll talk on the way. You don't even have to say much, Mom. Just be there. No, I replied, my voice flat. You don't want a mother. You want a cosigner. You're not here for a reunion. You're here for my credit score. Then came the bargaining. I'll fix it, she promised, her hands shaking as she gripped her folder. I'll send you everything, full transparency. You can look at whatever you want. After this goes through. After, I said, it's always after with you. Her voice sharpened, the fake softness finally evaporating. You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're enjoying watching me struggle. I'm standing still. I replied, that's all. I'm finally staying exactly where you told me I belonged out of your life. She glanced toward the street, then back at me, checking her watch. We're late. Mom, the appointment is in 20 minutes. If this falls apart, I lose the house. And you know there are other things, other debts I haven't told you about. I nodded. I didn't need the details to know the depth of the mess. So here are my terms. I said, counting them off. Full transparency, everything in writing, no surprises. And you never use that word as a weapon again, family. She laughed. A bitter, jagged sound. You think rules matter right now? We don't have time for your conditions. Then we don't have a deal. I took my phone out. I didn't just unlock it. I opened the dialer and entered the number for the loan officer, Daniel, using the application ID I had glimpsed in her open folder. I hit speaker. "This is Marlowe Hensley," I said when he answered. "I'm listed as a required party for the refinance appointment today. I need a clear disclosure if I sign the acknowledgement of support. What is my legal standing?" Daniel's voice was professional and stripped of emotion. "Ms. Hensley, since the debt-to-income ratio doesn't meet our criteria without a secondary backstop, your signature would make you a de facto guarantor. You would be legally liable for the full amount of the default." I looked at my daughter. She was trembling now. Real, unscripted tremors. "Thank you, Daniel," I said. "Please note that I will not be attending. Cancel the application immediately." The silence that followed was heavy. Then, her phone exploded with alerts. She stared at the screen as if it were a corpse. The bank had already processed the withdrawal. "You didn't have to do that," she whispered. Her face pale. "You didn't have to kill it." "I did," I replied. "Because now it's clean. The theater is over. The script is shredded. And for the first time in my life, I'm not the one paying for the production." She backed away, looking at me like I was a stranger. I stayed where I was on the porch, with the door behind me and the ground steady beneath my feet. Her plan had collapsed in real time, and I felt the strange, cold relief of no longer being the one expected to catch the pieces. She tried once more before she left. Her voice dropped, softer than before. "Mom, I didn't mean for it to get like this." Her eyes were wet now, real tears. Maybe, or just better timing. Hard to tell at that point. I didn't step forward, didn't step back either. "I'm not available for performances," I told her. "I'm available for truth." She wiped her face with the back of her hand. "So that's it?" "No," I replied. "This is it." I took a breath. "If you want to come back, you come back without paperwork, without deadlines, without asking me to stand in front of anyone and pretend." She looked at me like she was trying to memorize this version. "And if I can't do that, then you don't come back," I said. Not angry, just clear. We stood there for a second longer. Nothing else left to trade. She turned and walked down the steps, phone already buzzing again. I watched until she reached her car, then until she drove off. I locked the door, saved the clip again. Redundant. Maybe, but I've learned peace needs backups. The house was quiet, earned quiet, the kind you feel in your shoulders first. Here's the part I want to say out loud, because it matters. Family can love you and still use you. And sometimes the most loving thing you do for them and for yourself is step out of the role they wrote for you. If you've ever been the fixer, the signer, the one who makes things look clean so other people don't have to deal with their mess, you know how hard that step is. Near the end, if this story hit something familiar, hit like so more people see it. Drop a comment if you've ever had to draw a line like this, or if you're still standing on the porch deciding. Subscribe if you want more stories about boundaries that don't come with speeches. I sat at the table for a while after. Didn't feel triumphant. Didn't feel sad either. Just done. And for now, that's enough.